Hello everyone and welcome to the Captain's Video Weblog. We are Wednesday, December the 2nd, 2015. It's 11 p.m. and unlike yesterday, I totally haven't forgotten what I want to talk about. Can I say yesterday? I probably can. If today's video weblog takes as much time as yesterday's, then it truly is yesterday's. It's kind of stiff, but that would also mean that if tomorrow's video weblog is able to be uploaded on time, it will also be today's. I'm not gonna go too far into the matrix. Anyway, yeah. So yesterday, one thing that I got immediately reminded of as soon as I sat in front of my computer is, well, my apartment is really cold, and the fact that I haven't been here for the whole weekend makes it almost impossible to get to kind of a normal temperature without having to put the fan the fan heater at top speed during like 6 hours, because it's not a radiator. It doesn't radiate heat. It's a fan which emits hot air and that pushes the cold air. But that only pushes it, so that's not really useful. Anyway, yeah. So that's one thing that's out of the picture. What else? Oh yeah, football. Wow, Paris. They are pretty good, but they've been forced into a draw that could have been a loss against Angers. And if you don't know why that's such a big deal, last season Angers was in League 2, and now they are one of the best teams, and yeah, they nearly won, and that's really impressive. What else is impressive in this season? Caen is at the top of the table. They're second, but as Lavezzi said, Paris is too good for this league. Thank you, Captain Obvious. It's not as if everyone didn't already say it 1,000 times before you stepped out and told Gazzetta dello Sport, an Italian sport, I would say, I don't know. Is it a daily, a weekly? I don't know. Sport paper, He told them, yeah, I'm probably not gonna stay in Paris. Yeah, thanks. Once again, thanks, Captain Obvious. What else can I say? Yeah. Ajaccio, the guys like Ajaccio, are pretty good, gotta say. Of course, they lost a lot of matches, which put them almost at the bottom of the league, a place that is currently, the designated place of Troyes, who lost 3-0 at home. Not good. But yeah, Angers, they're pretty good, and that's really, we can say a lot of things about big teams like Lyon, who won 3-0 against Saint-Etienne in a very important match, since it's their derby and one of the most prominent rivalries in French football, because it's something that is only dictated by history and localization, and not because, well, I mean, we could make some money out of that. Because Lyon has always been the town, while Saint Etienne was the mines. So the people there was a stark opposition, and they hate each other's guts. Like, wow, I mean, I probably don't hate Parisians as much as Lyonnais hate Stéphanois people. But at any rate, yeah, that was impressive. But then they lost 3-0 to Nice, 4-2 to Montpellier, and they barely managed to have a 0-0 draw against Nantes. So why not? Plus, I mean, their team, they have no cohesion. It's like, well, we're gonna put 11 players on the field, and let's hope we don't take too many goals, huh? And they have good players. They put out a lot of money to have a competitive team in the Champions League. They're already out, and they're probably not even going to go to the round of 32 of the Europa League. So, wow, get fucked. Yeah. So I'm kind of worried because I have to give a paper 1 month, at least 1 month before I leave my apartment. So that means that since most internships starts on the 1st of February, I have until the 31st of this month to find an internship, make all the papers, all the paperwork, and then say to the people of the complex, say at the administration desk, say, hey, I'm leaving at the end of January. So yeah, because if I find an internship in January and it's not in Montpellier, obviously I have to pay the rent for 2 apartments in February, which is my apartment here and my apartment wherever the fuck the internship is, unless it's close to my parents' home. Then again, the furthest I could go, the better, Yeah. So there's that. I mean, I'm kind of worried, but at the same time, if I find one now, an internship now, and suddenly in January, I do all the paperwork, and in January I find, and you know that internship is pretty far away, and in January I find another internship that's around Montpellier, and that's pretty good, I'm fucked. Because unless, you can find a really good excuse, you can back off once the paperwork is done. So yeah, there's that. I mean, when I spoke about what in English yesterday, about my English project yesterday, I probably let out a lot of things that I wanted to talk about. So far, they haven't come back. I'm kind of sad. Kinda. I'm gonna start watching the 5th season of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic pretty soon, because I mean the Rainbow Rocks movie wasn't half bad. I don't know about the animation because I half watched it really, because it was pretty much background noise for my workout. But I found the sirens way more evil than Sunset Shimmer, and they had a plan. While Sunset Shimmer was like, well, I'm pissed, I'm gonna pretty much fuck everything up. Good luck with that. Yeah, Sunset Shimmer in that movie, pretty likable character. Gives you, kind of an insight on why she was Princess Celestia's prize student before Twilight Sparkle. came around, of course, well, before she got banished. Uh, I really thought that she would, flip the fuck out, because it was always this no offense, none taken, none taken, and she looked more and more exasperated each and every time someone told her something like, "Hey, you're a crazy maniac bitch." No offense. And she had to say, "None taken," again, yet. Whoa, yet? Yet? What? And I was like, yeah, she's gonna turn to the what is it? To the side of the sirens at one point. But the sirens, instead of doing that, instead of trying to lure her into joining them, into joining their fight, they antagonized her and therefore made her even more friends with the main six, which I hope the main six as ponies will come into the human world in the third Equestria Girls movie. I mean, I heard it was just going to be called My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, the movie. The movie that's coming out in 2017. Because there's a little something at the end. Oh, you're gonna love it. Even though that kind of raises the question of, well, I mean, if that happened, then why doesn't it happen with Sunset Shimmer? I mean, is there some kind of singularity that happened that Sunset Shimmer is somehow, well, a unique case? Yeah. And one last thing that I learned, actually, after filming this, was apparently the far right in my country idolizes Charles Martel. I don't know if it's the correct pronunciation in English. It's not the correct pronunciation in French, because we don't pronounce the S's at the end of words. But Charles Martel, who is the grandfather of Charlemagne, and he was a mayor of the palace, which is a literal translation of his title. He was, in French, he was a maire du palais of Austrasia and Neustria, Austrasie and Neustrie, which were two parts of the country we today know as France, pretty much the north. Before Charlemagne, there were Septimania, Aquitaine, Austrasie, and Neustrie. And those were pretty much independent countries. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there was a Duke of Aquitaine and a mayor of the palace for the two other things, and Septimania was under the control, pretty much the last place under the control of the Goths. Though at the time of Charles Martel, it was under control of the Arabs. The Arabs whose last recorded presence on the French soil was in the Jura region, so close to Switzerland, to present-day Switzerland, in 972. So way after Charlemagne, So Charles Martel is known for being the savior of Christendom, though the church would argue that Charles Martel is currently burning in hell because, rather than being the savior of Christendom, he was a hammerhead that everyone pretty much would come to fall against. He was pretty much what we would call today a dictator. He used the goods of the church, money and all that stuff, for his army, which is why he's probably burning in hell. The reason why he fought the Moors, the Arabs, not in Poitiers, but in Tours, in 732, was because the daughter of the Arabic chief in Narbonne, so in Septimania, wanted to get married with the son of the Duke of Aquitaine, and the Christians and the Muslims weren't okay at all, because whoa, multicultural, whoa, what the fuck are you doing? And one could argue that while I mean, they might have been a threat, but really, the Arabic civilization was more of a civilization than the barbaric Franks. I'm gonna be totally honest here. I'm French. I've learned a lot of things about how it all went during the early Middle Ages, and it wasn't pretty at all. So yeah, he was a barbaric brute, a dictator, and an asshole, pretty much. Far from the image of the savior of Christendom. And to be totally honest, as early as the 9th century, so at least 70 years after the battle, which is not that bad, he was already being criticized. And the main figure in the far right of the far right here is rather Joan of Arc, and not Charles Martel, because there's a lot of of things that are said, like the French history has moved the battle that Charles Martel fought against Abderrahman from Tours to Poitiers, because after the 100 Years' War, during the 100 Years' War, the French fought against the English near Poitiers and lost. So just to forget about a huge loss that could have been the end of the Kingdom of France, well, we're gonna talk about a victory that, haha, it happened. It also happened here. And look, pretty much all the strategies were the same. Oh, isn't that fucking convenient? Oh, and it happened so much time before, and there was even a shock of the civilizations. Fuck you, Huntington. Your model is shit, and you should feel bad for it. A shock of the civilizations. Ew, that's disgusting. So yeah, there are people who call for the return of the France of Charles Martel, and that's really funny because one person who did that is the mayor of Béziers. But Septimania was one of the main victims of Charles Martel's reign, because since he couldn't take Narbonne, he decided to burn Béziers, to sack and the rape of Béziers and Agde and Nîmes. He burnt the fighting rink, the Colosseum of Nîmes. If you know a little bit about southern France, you probably know what I'm talking about. The arena, yeah, the arena. That sounds weird to talk about this place as an arena, but it's an arena. So he burned the place. Much worse, because a few weeks ago, the mayor of Béziers, who is a huge asshole, talked about banning kebab, removing the kebab, and one thing that's really funny is that at the time of Charles Martel, a lot of people in Béziers who were Franks and Goths, they converted to Islam. So that's really funny. Yeah. And one could argue that Narbonne was much better looking under Arabic rule than Frank rule. But yeah, at least Charlemagne is better remembered, because he was much less of an asshole, a role that's been taken by his grandsons, who divided his empire in three and fucked over Lothar, to the point that the only memory of Lothar's empire is the little region of Lorraine that is more associated with, his dukes are more associated with the kings of Poland than the descendants of Charlemagne. So yeah, little history fact for you. So anyway, thanks for watching, see you tomorrow, and goodbye. Yeah, I mean that's gonna cut off because I don't have that much space.